10 seconds remaining.
Hello everyone. Oh, that was fun. Hello everyone and welcome to Starladder I-League Series 13. We've got some pretty fun matches today. There's some EU stuff, there's gonna be some Americas later. So first up, we've got Team Liquid versus Team Bad English, and I'm excited to have you all watching. Let's get right into it, because we got a draft on our hands. So, once again, I'm going to be Llama Down Under, joined by PQMZ and then Mac Dota on stats. You'll see their names in-game, so you can show them some love. But first of all, PQ, how you doing? I believe I've even unmuted you on TeamSpeak.
That's hopefully the case, right?
Yes! My production value today is like A++, except for a little screen glitch that we had just now.
5 seconds remaining.
That's what happens when you're awake for games, right?
Oh yeah. So, I think this ban looking pretty well. First of all, let's just say I think most people expecting Team Liquid to be the favorites, but they did already drop a game in this group stage to CIS rejects. So they actually really need this win. If they don't pick up this win, they will be out of Starladder. They can't continue on in their group unless like somebody else dropped out. So they really need this. While Team Bad English, I think, have one loss on their hands.
Is it four teams per group thing?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, it's important they win. I'd agree they're definitely favourites, but I've played against some of the guys on Team Bad English, and at least in pubs they were really good.
Yeah, they're no slouches. They made very close work of the other games I'd seen them in. They played Yellow Submarine, and it wasn't the stomp I think a lot of people expected it to be, since they're a relatively unknown team, although as you mentioned, they've got a couple of high-level players. But we got bans, we got picks. I think very standard stuff on the bans. You know, we're definitely expecting Doom banned every game until the patch comes out in mid-December. But Slaughter Doxy picked up, and we got our offlaners.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is surprising is maybe the Wisp, but I haven't ever seen Team Bad English play, so maybe Liquid know that they have good Wisp players. If anything, I think Liquid are the team you want to ban Wisp against.
Yeah, I was a little surprised too, but I think it was just the case of the first. They decided they weren't going for it first pick. They didn't want the IO. So maybe just saying, hey, Slaughter's a much bigger priority for us. But if they, I mean, I think Team Bad English did the really smart thing. They banned out Jerix's Tusk. I don't know if you've seen him play the Tusk. It's mildly insane.
Yeah, I think it's his best hero. Except maybe Earth Spirit, but that hero is not viable yet, so one day maybe we'll get to see Jerix play in a professional game, and then he'll finally get nerfed again.
And we've got Wyvern, Windrunner. Windrunner, of course, I think a bit of a block pick here almost. You don't want one team to get the Slaughter and the Windrunner, she just gets so much stronger. But the Wyvern, I mean, Doxia, I guess Slaughter, Wyvern have some synergy between them. You can amp damage the person taking the Winter's Curse. I wonder if they'll go for some more AoE spread on Team Liquid.
Going with that logic of the block pick though, it's probably better you take the Wyvern. Because Wyvern's more of a response to the Windrunner herself, or Wind Ranger, depending on how you want to call her. Doxia, Wyvern, as we all know, have like really strong together. So I can see why they took the Windrunner though, because Slider Windrunner is very, I'm gonna say cheesy, but it's very easy to IQ. You don't have to do too much to put out a lot of damage.
5 seconds remaining.
And I think the Windrunner also is one of those heroes. A lot of heroes, if the Wyvern comes mid and Arctic burns you level 1, you're just gonna basically lose the lane. The Windrunner at least can use Windrun. It's not great that you have to use it, but it's, what, 15-second cooldown at level 1? Oh, okay, never mind, sorry. I thought I forgot to do the overlay and freaked out for a second there. Sorry, guys. It's early here. Yeah, it's a 15-second cooldown on that ability, and I think it's something where if you just have to expend the Windrun, it's much shorter cooldown than Arctic Burn at early levels.
Yeah, she deals with it alright, so it might be a case where the Wyvern decides to not even go mid in the first place, to pressure probably the Daxia lane.
10 seconds.
Lots of options. I like the Disruptor though. Good
Yeah,
against Slider in general in the lane, it's finished of the Daxia, etc.
And as we say that, we see the Juggernaut come out, so while of course he can't use that spin if he's already under the Static Storm, he can certainly traverse it by using that spin. And he is a bit, I wouldn't say he's a counter to Windrunner by any means, but of course Omni Slash does go through Windrun. The physical attacks that occur during Omni Slash don't, but the Omni Slash itself does. So even if she Windruns to maybe get away from you, you can just Omni Slash finish her off.
Remaining.
And I think Jug's one of the heroes that actually, this might sound really crazy, but it does really well against Windrunner mid most of the time. So it gives them the option of being more flexible laning stage.
Yeah,
More common though.
I imagine they'll put it safe lane unless Liquid is feeling very, very confident. And yeah, I have no idea what their confidence levels are going into this. So now we've got Huskar banned out, always a smart choice, but a bit interesting. A lot of teams don't ban it until they see the Dazzle picked up. We've also still got Alchemist in the pool, which is a hero that while he's not necessarily going to deny the Windrunner a bunch of farm, but you can certainly make it so you get all of your farm, and she's lost hitting under tower, not really able to harass you too well by using that acid spray.
I don't think it's a good option for bad English though, because Starladder naturally a lot of pressure on.
Oh, I mean for Team Liquid.
Okay, yeah, that would make a lot of sense. It's just where they want to take their lineup right now. They have decent initiation from the Starladder if you can get it early blink. Jug's like a monster carry in the mid game with the healing ward and just the amount of damage he can output. A similar vein of thought going for a Dragon Knight, which is a lot less farm orientated.
Yeah, this lineup has a lot of early push potential. It isn't necessarily an early push lineup. They can certainly try to take the Juggernaut and the Dragon Knight later. But of course, with Healing Ward, with Dragon Knight's Dragon form, and then Cold Embracing creeps that are being hit by the tower, you can push towers really early. And I just wonder if Team Liquid's going to say, we run some sort of pushing tri-lane, pick up something that goes well with the Wyvern with Sustain. Although I'm thinking of what's left in the pool. You can always go hardcore with a Shadow Shaman, but he's a bit weaker in other areas.
They have a lot of options now, because as you say, they have the option towers really easily with just Dragon Knight and the Juggernaut, both really strong at fighting early as well. But if they can manage to do that, then they have the heroes to shut off all of the map as well. So it's a really strong lineup in theory, as long as the laning station doesn't go too badly. Team Bad English might have to do a lot of dodging this game. Their team fights best until Darkseid gets levels up, and both their supports are also very dependent on their level 6.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit concerned because even Windrunner, both Windrunner and Phantom Lancer need a long time to get online. As you said, Darkseid needs levels. Generally, level 9 is about where you're ready to fight, but the Windrunner probably won't have her Aghanims. Unless something goes horribly wrong for Liquid, she shouldn't have her Aghanims by the time the Darkseid is level 9. Phantom Lancer wants at least a Diffusal before he's willing to fight, and we see a lot of very greedy Phantom Lancers go Boots of Travel. If Team Liquid just go full push here, I don't think Team Bad English is going to have a moment to breathe.
They've got enough push right now. They might want to back off and go for something like a secondary catch. I guess Dragon Knight opts for like either the Shadow Blade or the Blink. They have enough catch. It's just what they feel like. Maybe a more lane dominating support. I guess
okay.
Makes some sense against the Phantom Lancer. Really good hero to counter him when he jumps into the fights later.
Yeah.
Feels a later game a tiny bit as well.
It's really interesting. It feels like, obviously, it synergizes well with Juggernaut. Everybody's seen, and can gank the opposing mid, right? Everybody's seen that Jug spins on top of the person who can't escape because there's a fissure. But it's kind of, I'm not sure I see how it fits into the rest of their potential push. I don't, it's not like I don't expect this Earthshaker to be hugely impactful, but maybe not as clear cut.
Hero though, right?
Yeah, there's both of the supports on Liquid are very strong, and it's one of those heroes where, right, I'm pretty sure everybody in competitive has played Earthshaker at some point.
5 seconds.
Even the midders.
The strong points I can see to the hero to start with are you can block the bottom lane for levels, which in turn can help apply pressure to the supports on TE, which are very leveled. And if you can get the ball rolling a bit, makes a lot of sense. It's actually Mind Control playing the Earthshaker, and it's going to be a support slider, which can kind of play the same logic too, but having a greedier support might be too bad here.
Now, it is something where this will really help Earthshaker be able to get his Blink Dagger up a bit sooner. He'll get earlier levels as well, and Slaughter has Sprint at the very least to get that Slithering Crush initiation, so maybe that'll work out. But let's quickly introduce the teams because we have a very early smoke coming out of Team Bad English. We've got Zenigata on the Bane, we've got Gedrox on that hard carry of the PL, we've got Windrunner being played by the Speed of Life, Disruptor being played up by Giga, and then finally Darkseer already in top lane, played by their captain, Pone. Tossing it over to you for Team Liquid.
Got Kuroki was left on the Starladder, Fata on the Dragon Knight, one of his better heroes, Jarex on the Wyvern, Mind Control on the Earthshaker, and Man on the Juggernaut.
Yeah, which would you prefer? We just discussed a little bit. I think Slaughter can have such huge impact just because of how big the AoE of Slithering Crush is, but of course the same can be said of Earthshaker. Although he received a bit of a nerf in the last patch, he can certainly have huge game impact at every point if he has enough, if he has a blink early enough. Do you have a preference that you would have preferred one or the other to be support here?
Personally, I'd go for the Shaker as a support because I feel like it can do more around the map early, but the thing the Slider's going to offer is a lot of greedy of a support role. When the Shaker gets levels in the offlane, he can do things early. When he's just moving around as a support, he's much less impactful and he relies more on his cores to do things for him, which Dragon Knight and Juggernaut can do, so I'll be interested to see why they've done it this way and how they prioritize it.
Yep.
Ada's also better at zoning the Darkseer, which is something to take into account.
And I don't know if you saw what just happened mid. Windrunner did take a bit of damage from the Breathe of Fire, but of course a huge amount of damage going out onto the Wyvern between the Disruptor and the Windrunner. So not maybe what I was expecting. And this top lane, because they don't have a ranged hero up here yet, Matumba Man's going to be burning through that regen to deal with Darkseer. I think Pone probably pretty happy. He should be able to, at least before the Wyvern gets here, get a few levels.
Yangjoke's one of the better heroes at dealing with Darkseer with the healing ward, and he can send out the waves after level 3, so he's gonna get his levels in the early stage unless something like this happens. Level 2, so he's fine.
Yeah, he should be able to walk it off, and of course, Derek's only level 1 since he had to wander around. This bottom lane also, we're seeing Gedrox. He is getting CS, but of course, Mind Control isn't being forced out of lane in the slightest. So,
and that's due to the fact that the Disruptor started to kind of counteract the Wyvern. On top of that, the block from Control puts the lane in a really hard position for Bane to zone him. He's getting a lot from this lane.
Yeah, while Bane is certainly a hero, we've all seen how well Bane can zone folks. It's rough when you've got an Earthshaker who just kind of says, yeah, I do what I want. Oh, and actually, fissuring onto Zenigata, not going to be able to get enough creeps onto him. Sometimes you can get a bit of harass. And a top rune, Darkseer manages to get the bounty out from under fodder. He has an empty bottle. That'll be some crowing action for him. He's taking a little bit of harass, but he is barely being tickled.
Really big deal though, because if he's not accomplishing anything top with the lane in the position it is now, denying the rune from fodder is a really big deal.
Yeah. It's certainly a nice case of, oh goodness, what is going on here? That's a haste rune. He's just trying to be a bit of a problem. Takes a bit of harass, but of course Mind Control just going to walk it off. So, yeah. Speaking of lineups, we've certainly got a Windrunner PL on one side, we got a Juggernaut, Dragon Knight on the other. Dragon Knight not really thought of a hero who is one of the hardest of carries, and as I'm talking about him being a hard carry, there's another power shot coming out. I don't think she'll be able to get the kill, so.
It's really hard to land those when there's creep vision, so probably better she just doesn't try.
But who do you think if this game ends up going late? Because I definitely think that Team Liquid can push early on, not make it an issue, but if it does go late, I'm a little bit in favor of the lineup with the PL Windrunner.
Depends on the state of the map, I think, because TBE can hold their towers to the extent that they can maintain control of their jungle, and they can deal with the fact they have slightly greedier supports, and they all scale really well into the late game. But if Liquid are able to choke them off and kind of limit how much they farm, I think they scale equally as well. For the part, it's all going to be about who maintains control of the map and how much this Windrunner and Phantom Lantern can manage to, get and split in exchange for the towers.
Yeah. Earthshaker as well, getting a lot out of that lane. We already mentioned a little bit. Now Wyvern's potentially coming down. Sure, Pone is getting, I think, a bit more farm and levels, but Earthshaker also having 6 CS, 2 denies. I wasn't expecting Mind Control to get so very much.
It's bit off a lot though, because he had those 5 CS at like the minute mark, so they've been controlling him a bit better now. He's been trying to contest all the runes.
Doing a good job with that as well. Zenny thinking about coming in, at least a little bit of a brain sap. They might have enough damage. They glimpse him back. Do they have the follow-up? And here comes the PL, but they need vision, or Roche is just going to deny him, and that is a deny to Roche. Well played there by Mind Control. Very aware of what was going on there.
Bit of space created. It's a shame he has to die, but it's the best way to happen. Not giving up any gold or experience. Good.
At the same time, we've got Doxia on top lane has found out about their stacks. I don't know if he'll actually be able to get these with the lost hit. It looks like he got one, but he did not get... he got 2 of those from the looks of things. And there's a huge wave coming in his way, so we should see Doxia hitting level 5 next to him.
Yeah, just slightly above the Earthshake at the moment from there, so... I'm not sure if he's gonna look to control the lane a bit more, or if he's gonna...
Oh, here comes the Shackle in the mid lane. We've got a little bit of the head, the thunderclap dropped. Are they gonna use the glimpse? There's no mana on Disruptor. He had a mango though, but the glimpse was on cooldown for 4 seconds, and now in comes Kuroki. They have a DD on Speed of Life, but they need to do something here, and I think Speed of Life is gonna be going down. Nightmare popped on her as well. Now she's gonna power shot. Do they have the auto attacks? That's her first blood. Jerax going down, but what a messy engagement. Earthshaker actually coming from the right as well. Mind Control making sure to get that follow-up kill, which is well worth it for him considering his lane, but a kind of questionable...
Really big snipe.
Yeah. A bit of a questionable gank coming out from Giga since his glimpse was on cooldown for 4 seconds. I guess they thought they had the damage on a DK, but that is that's not an easy hero to kill.
Sometimes you just get a bit overconfident when you have DD runes, or you see an opportunity and you just kind of go, I wasn't there when it started, but lacked like 100 or so damage, so close.
Yeah. So doing really well. Fodder is going to turn himself into a dragon and wander over. Speed of Light going to take quite a bit of damage from this, but probably, yeah, just quite a bit of harass. Fodder actually taking some tower shots, you know, just dragon things.
He wants to get the
the dot
ticking as soon as possible. The damage on the tower.
It's a great play using that whenever it is off cooldown, so always a nice thing to do there. And with that,
he's one of the better players on this hero, I think. He always has an understanding of where he needs to be, and he keeps his farm up while applying pressure.
Oh, and speaking of applying pressure, there is going to be the Dragon Tail Slithering Crush, but the Nightmare making the Breathe Fire be completely dodged. Fodder does have a haste as well, though. These supports are really low. Kuroki might be thinking of going for another Slithering Crush, but instead he's stunned up, and he is taking way too much damage. Dragonite's still trying to find something on Giga. He does have Breathe Fire now. That's going to be 1 kill. Can he get another? The Wind Run, it is up. And instead, Fodder should just wander away. He's gonna bottle up. He might try to get an auto attack on the tower. Yeah, get that Dragon Breath on there. He might Breathe Fire 1 second. Oh, Windrunner, she is just enough. And she power shots 2 more auto attacks from the tower. It's not gonna be enough. There's the Cold Embrace as well. And that'll be that. I didn't catch, but oh goodness, it's still going. Do they have a glimpse? No, 25 seconds, so they don't think they have the auto attacks, but they have a Brain Sap coming out. One more, there they go. They finally get Fodder. That was a ridiculously long engagement. Did you catch what happened down in bottom lane?
No, I was watching the baits mid. Really well played by the Windrunner, baiting the fire with the stick.
Okay, it looks like Doxia also died all the way up here, and Earthshaker came up there to give him a hand to get the kill. So yeah, we had a really long engagement. Dragon Form used. I'd say pretty great usage, but unfortunately he does end up going down.
Like 400 though, so it's heal. Going to be up soon though, so he probably do the same again. PL's really being the breadwinner of this early stage. There's a lot of CS. And also, if he wants, he can go to the woods and give his supports lane. Get their levels.
Yeah, I feel like Jug, I'm not quite sure what happened, but, as I say, I'm not quite sure what happened. I see him doing a huge stack, so he's going to shoot up in net worth. But PL is DSing a lot better. We already talked a little bit about there being a Doxia, but I was expecting Jug to get pretty much all the CS as well, and the fact that PL was, until that stack was taken, about 400 ahead really surprised me. And we have a glimpse back. Kuroki looking like he's going to have to Slithering Crush for his life, but he still may go down. 2 more auto attacks. There we go. PL getting the last hit, and that is going to just help Gadrox's farm.
That's just exactly what the PL needs. The further ahead he can get, then the more pressure he can apply when Liquid look to group up. And if it gets a case where Liquid don't feel confident grouping up because they're going to give too much away, then it's even better for TBE.
Yeah,
game
and
they
they're
want.
100%. They're a little bit ahead on TBE. It's nothing that one team fight. Oh, the fantasy point's not what we want. It's nothing that one team fight won't get rid of, but they're about 1,000 gold ahead and a little bit ahead on the experience as well. And now Fodder, he has to be very careful here. They don't have level 6 on Bane, but he is getting ready to body block if he needs to. They do have they have Glimpse at the ready there. It's going to be used, but a Fissure comes out, and is there going to be an Echo Slam? There it is. And now Speed of Life needs to Wind Run away. A beautiful shackle out of her, but suddenly there are 4 heroes. She doesn't have Wind Run. And Mind Control, he stutter steps going up the hill a little bit. I think he maybe could have gotten off the Enchant Totem, but not going to be enough. Kuroki's going in with the sprint, but Kuroki decides not to go in for it. So.
Fisher was really nice. In the right place at all the times he needs to be.
Yeah, and we were expecting a Jerax Earthshaker. Mind Control clearly knows what to do with this guy just as well, so.
I feel like they both play like Tusk, Earthshaker, those kind of heroes really well.
Yeah, it's
Every
really
time
funny.
I watch them, they always make good plays.
I think Jerax is more famous for his Tusk just because since it is able to roam in a support position, you do see a bit more game impact early on at least. But yeah, they're some of the two famous individuals for those heroes. And also something funny about Fodder, I feel like Fodder's quite famous. He's obviously considered one of the most solid mids, but he's also got a number of his Beastmaster, his Dragon Knight, a little bit less popular mids perhaps, that he's very famous on.
Yeah, it's
now,
nice to see them go for those slightly more unmeta picks.
Yeah, just well. Slightly. So, yep. I like it as well. Now, Kuroki, when you're playing the support Slaughter, do you just try to rush the force staff, or are you still desperately walking towards a blink?
Dire's bottom tower
I think it depends what they feel they need in the fights. The Earthshaker can get up an early blink, then he might opt for the force staff instead as a more defensive measure for like the Bane ulti, the shackles, get out of the kinetic field, etc. But at the moment, he doesn't have any farm, so he's going to be relying on team fights and towers to get that farm. Now he's basically just walking Amplify, and maybe he can get a few good crushes off if the team lead with the stuns.
Yeah, it's not bad to be that walking Amplify. They certainly have the damage output at this point in the game, I think, that they could do a very early Roshan with that amp damage. And he's gotten that level 6 pretty early on. It's something where often because of their roaming and so on, we see supports maybe not, we're going to have a Splinter Blast coming out. There's going to be the Fissure follow-up. Mind Control doesn't have the Echo Slam. Glints backwards, but he's blocked off by the Fissure here, taking too much damage from Jerax with that Arctic Burn. And this is going to be Giga going down, but we have TP support from both sides, so it looks like Gadroxy may fall as well, and Invis on Fodder. He throws out a Lance, he has enough mana for the Doppelganger, but not something you want to use against Mind Control. Echo Slam is up in 5, the wall has been dropped as well. Kuroki bashing and amplifying on the sidelines, and I think they need to get out of here for Team Bad English. They've lost 2, how can they fight for Kuroki? He's ready for that Slithering Crush and Zagata. It looks like he is going to be falling, but Kuroki taking a few tower hits. If they can get a little bit more, the healing ward is there, and Fodder just going to be doing some work on them. We do have another TP coming out. Wait, was that cancelled? Okay, it looks like that may have in fact been a TP out, and Doxy is going to fall. Nightmare doesn't get the deny, dot damage gets it, and we're going to see Zenigata fall as well. Wasting quite a bit of time, but at the same time PL wasn't able to get to another lane to farm. So, a fantastic 4-0 for Liquid.
Yeah, they were playing the engagement like prior really well, not giving up too much. Letting the discipline slip a tiny bit, trying to take the fights when they realize Liquid are probably looking for them, and they're always going to commit as many heroes as they need to win the fights. So it kind of starts to snowball off. They get the tower, as you say, they get the 4 heroes, and now they're going to get a string of items. Shadow's really close to a Shadow Blade if that's what he wants. He can put a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah, and as we talked about, this one team fight, it was about a 3,000 gold and experience swing. Now they're taking the stack set up in the jungle. This is rough. This is more gold being stolen from Team Bad English and going to Liquid.
And on top of that, it's just... you lose control of your wood with the heroes that they have. I just feel like the game's slowly slipping away. Liquid can capitalize on this, get some really good vision out. And they can probably just... choking them out while they're taking towers, because tier 1's probably going to fall. If it's denied or not, it really doesn't matter. It doesn't look like they want to commit, so it might be up for a tiny bit longer.
Yeah, I think another one of the problems that they've got going for them, of course, is Bane isn't level 6. We were just talking about supports and how hard it is for them to hit their level timings, but Bane isn't level 6, the Disruptor is, but their fight potential is just not there yet. And even if the Bane is level 6, you need to hold down Dragon Knight, Jug, Earthshaker. I mean, all of these heroes are fantastic on Liquid. You want to grip them all.
Yeah, and on top of that, the ones you don't grip all have...
Exactly.
So it's going to be a pick-off or a very late team fight. And all the spells have already been dropped on someone else, so you're probably already a hero or two down at that point. Makes it really awkward.
We have Border, as you mentioned, he went for that Shadow Blade. He is stalking Gidrox. Now, Gidrox went for a typical PL build. It's the Boots of Travel. He's got a Mask of Madness to make sure he can farm up that jungle. And speaking of farming, we're going to be seeing if they can pick up Mind Control. He does go down, top lane. Nothing too exciting. Maybe they'll try to trade towers. But I feel like, sure, Mind Control, of course, bots does accelerate your farm. It also makes you waste less gold buying TPs all the time, but not sure if this was the game for it, where Team Liquid is already ready to bring the fight to Team Bad English.
I think they already decided in the draft. They know they can't contest the push because Darkton needs his levels, which he just got. He's got his level 10. Disruptor, he's not a great team fighting hero early. If you get the combo with the ultimate from the vacuum from Darkseid, then it's something. He doesn't deep push, and he just kind of over once he gets stunned. It's slightly more tanky, but again in team fights where Liquid have a lot of stops for his ultimate, it's not going to be easy for them. So I think this was the only build he could go, unless they were really far ahead in the laning stage, which is realistic.
They do a glimpse back, but they must realize there are so many heroes there. Matumba Man coming in, Omni Slash going through that wind run, and now Giga is in the hot seat. Pwn instead is their target of choice. They're standing right on top of him. There's gonna be the Static Storm dropped. Maybe he can get something off. He does have the wall. I'm not quite sure why he's not vacuum wall dropping it. I don't think he has quite enough mana. He pops the Soul Ring though. There's gonna be a glimpse backwards, but they're fighting right on top of a ward. In comes PL. Maybe he can do some good work onto Matumba Man, and they're not actually gonna save him. This would be a huge kill for Team Bad English. There is the vacuum back. I think the auto attacks are gonna do it. There goes another Lanty manages to spin that one off. Kuroki on the backlines picking off Giga. Oh, there's an Echo Slam as well, and now Pwn, he's in trouble. They should be able to get Matumba Man, but they have lost so much, and they have enemies under their tier 3. Pwn is being taken down by Kuro and Mind Control inside the base. Tier 1 is still standing. There's gonna be a fissure onto Speed of Life, and he is perma-stunned. No way to get out of it. Bane might pick up the return kill on Kuroki, but this is really painful for the lineup of Team Bad English. And Gedrox standing there trying to fight. He has no mana.
The only upside there is Victor dies and the PL doesn't.
But we can see from the gold swing. I mean, it barely tickled the gold swing for the lineup of Team Bad English, and they are officially in the hole. Now, again, as we mentioned, I think that it's going to really come down to if they can just somehow find farm for the Phantom Lancer. But with with Matumba Man going for a Battle Fury on that Juggernaut, he is saying, I'm going to keep up with your farm PL.
Yeah, and on top of that, they have the Dragon Knight, so with the Shadow Blade, so you're going to need some kind of freeze on the lane or early gem else, so he feels safe farming. When you don't have that to worry about, you've got a Blink Shaker and maybe soon a Blink Starladder after this is going to be really close to it. So it's not easy for him to get the farm, and on top of that, his mates don't defend him very well. There's not the great counter initiation coming out from them yet.
And this is also some really nice pickups from Liquid. They have a Battle Fury on Matumba Man that helps you clear illusions a little bit. And of course you've got Echo Slam, which is very happy that you've got illusions all around. And now Matumba Man also has a Aegis to top it all off. So, and Windrunner, she is nowhere near her Aghanim Scepter. I think she's going back for a Maelstrom.
It's sensing and surviving. It's your way to actually get the damage out when Cold Embrace is there. And DK's really high armor target as well. Rogue's decently high armor as well, so it makes sense. It's just way too late at this point. He needs the Ags on top of Maelstrom in the next 5 minutes relevant in these fights, which is not going to happen, fortunately.
How does Team Bad English stop the Liquid snowball? Is this on Liquid making mistakes now? Or do you think Team Bad English can use their smokes, maybe get a pick off here and there, their smokes which are completely out of stock for the next 4 minutes?
Yeah,
so that's not an option.
They already scouted the on top of this ward. They could maybe cut them off before they get to the rest of the team. That's one way. They're opting to completely dodge it, which is definitely safer. The other way is maybe baiting them into some kind of overextension of the base. Say they jump one hero under the tier 2 and then vacuums 3 or 4 heroes into a static storm. That's one way. But I feel like Liquid are going to be very disciplined about this. They should know the game's roughly in their control if they don't do way too much.
Yeah. And while PL, he's doing an admirable job, he is keeping up with the farm on Matumba Man, who of course has a much easier life in this game. It is really rough. I don't think he's big enough, or... Yeah, he's not big enough yet that they can bet it all on him.
In 20-30 minutes, he probably will be if he can keep it up. But then all Liquid have to do is probably find him and kill him, and the rest of the team are going to flop.
Now they're thinking about going in on this, but Team Bad English wisely decide to back out, and Fodder, he might walk right under a... Oh, never mind, doesn't even matter if he walks under a sentry, because they're going to put down their own in return. He's also picked up the Sanj. It could be Sanj and Yasha, but probably he's just building straight up for a Silver's Edge. And even if, you know, you can reduce a lot of the damage on the Windrunner, even if you're not blocking one of her passives, and then I do believe it... I don't want to say, I'm not sure about the interaction with Juxtapose. I want to say that it stops it, but I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Sure, if you will get Silver's Edge, there's such a small amount. Maybe it's better he goes Halberd so you can tap towers a bit more.
Yeah?
I think either is fine, because they're both in some ways aggressive and defensive items. Depending how you look at it, like the man fighting Silver Edge, reducing the damage, can be classified as defensive, I guess. He hasn't flown the recipe out yet. I'd favor S&Y or a Halberd.
Now, for this Juggernaut, obviously we got some more obvious things coming out. People like Jerax. Jerax is going to be working on that Glimmer Cape. But Juggernaut here, do you think this is a Manta or a Sanj and Yasha? And what exactly? I feel like, of course, Sanj and Yasha tanks you up a little bit. Manta does a bit too, but you could slow siege maybe with the Manta. There are a few things you can always. It's rough. You can Manta out of the glimpse, although I think it's a lot easier just to spin.
I think S&Y is just stronger on the hero, unless there's a specific reason to Manta, and as you say, there's glimpse or shackles out it. I suppose you can also dodge Spirit Lands, but you have to spin those things anyway.
Yep. Oh wow, and are you just gonna know there's the Dragon Tail at the last second, and with that, Bane is going to fall. So, a nice attempt, and now the entire lineup of Team Bad English realizing this is not where they want to be. The Fissure just short onto the PL, and he is off farming elsewhere. Mind Control also, oh, he bought a full 4-star, so that's going to answer what he was going, because he had about 2,000 gold, is very happy with that, and it is just going to be the Sanj and Yasha for the DK. Dogs here, I have to assume, going for a Blink Dagger, but it could be that Guardian Greaves. I'm a big fan of the... Oh goodness, we've got a Winter's Curse used on Goodrox. They should be able to catch him here. He has Doppelganger up, but he is dead before he can use it. Breathe Fire coming out. And that's a big kill.
Yeah, and that's the problem. There's so much lockdown that if you just find him once, power. And maybe a team fight if his team steps. Mistakes he's made this game is a bit big. Can't blame him for it because he has to find the farm somewhere or the other. As we were saying earlier, he needs to be big so he can actually 1v5 this game. Now it might even be Rax, unless he can get away. Miracle engagement.
Yeah, they do have Static Storm, they do have Vacuum Wall combo. We really haven't seen that one utilized yet. But in the same time, in the mid lane, we have Zenigata taking a lot of damage. She gets the Shackle onto Kuro. They should be able to do the damage here. Cold Embrace, it doesn't come out. The Healing Ward is popped as well. And any kill here is a big kill for the lineup of Team Bad English. So they're very happy with this engagement. They spot out the Healing Ward saying, hey guys, can we kill that thing? And it looks like Liquid actually just wanting to back up. Of course, they Aegis did just expire, so deciding one man down, we can't take this fight. That's the miracle they needed, I think, on TBE.
Maybe it would have just been a tower, but they opted for the Bane kill instead. But at the end of the day, all they need to do is keep them confined in this kind of area of the map. Yell's going to be the only one who is going to venture out confidently, and there's so many ways for him to get caught as long as Liquid read the map well and get some good vision out. Going to be limited on his farm. So Liquid are going to be extremely comfortable, I think, now to just chill out, wait for the next stage, just farm up a round of items, and then go again in 5-6 minutes.
Now, PL, he does have the diffusal. This means that him and the Yasha, he and his illusions do quite a bit of damage. Speaking of damage, though, here comes Sparta, the Dragon Knight. Also, of course, that Mana Drain is nothing to scoff at when you can have as many illusions as a PL can. But I still don't know if it's enough, and it's not something easy. Like, yeah, Power Shot's gonna push back the waves a little bit, but it's nothing like, you know, the spam of Alina that stops people from engaging into you.
It's gonna be really hard for them. So, hopefully, Liquid makes 1 or 2 mistakes so they can actually make game of it at this point. Windrunner is slowly building up her items for the end. She's just... the amount of time she can get off the map is so limited because of what the PL's taking.
Yeah. It is not an easy game, and do they have any sort of detection for Fodder? They have a sentry right on top of him, actually. He's going in. He doesn't have the Shadow Blade, this means, for a little bit. They defusal him. He ends up popping his illusions, and now he's going in for the stun. Speed of Life is taking a lot of damage. They use the Fiend's Grip, and they should have the damage for this. Mind Control on the sidelines as well, and they are going to pick up Fodder. That is a huge kill. Can they get Kuroki as well? A launch should be coming out of Gadrox shortly. They even glimpse it back, but he might just slither and curse them all he does, but the Shackle latches, and that is another kill. This is exactly what they needed. They might be taking a little bit of damage on their bottom tower, but 2 huge kills, and that was a 3,000 gold swing for the lineup of Team Bad English.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need. Just Liquid to feel a bit too overconfident, and they have to be there to punish it every time they see a mistake. And that's going to be the hardest part for them now. Fortunately, most of the gold went on the Daxer, who's already got his core items. But you'll take any gold you can get at this point.
Yeah, it's... you know, he can always build Shivas, especially against a Slaughter. But as you mentioned, you maybe want something like the Force Staff up on the Disruptor or the Bane. And we have action in the mid lane. Gadrox, they even blow the Winter's Curse for him after hearing the other ultimates. The Shackle not gonna latch. There's a Nightmare as well on Matamba Man, and they will be able to get him in the Static Storm. There's the buyback coming out of PL. He's TPing in. Matamba Man, he's gonna go down for a second. Oh, no, first time. And now, Fodder, what is he gonna be able to do? Kuroki manages to get a kill there, and Gadrox goes down. That's a dieback. This could just be GG.
Yeah, that was so close, but as soon as Jarrett's got his defensive bells off and the Glimmer K was able to get the Omni out, and then he Manta dodged, I think it was Power Shot or something that was close to killing him. It's just that close. I don't blame them for going for it. PL was confident that he's still close enough to defend him if it happened, but a bit too far, bit of miscommunication, and now it's costing them a racks.
Yeah. I'm not sure with the PL on the sidelines for so long, this may actually be 2 racks. We can already hear Jerax working on the bottom lane as well. For Team Bad English, is this where you GG out, or do you give it one more big team fight? Because I'm not sure PL is one of the best heroes to defend against supers in 2 lanes.
I think it depends on the team mentality. If they're willing to kind of talk through what went wrong, use this time.
Where was the pool? He vacuumed 4 and he didn't have any sort of wall follow-up. The Shackle doesn't latch, I think, because of the Nightmare coming out, and now Kuroki is just wandering around in the kinetic field. Doesn't give a care at all. Glimpsed back about 5 units. Fodder coming in as a Dragon will. Gets the stun out onto the speed, and now there's going to be a stun follow-up from Kuroki. The Phantom Lancer, he is not doing nearly enough here. He's getting a couple of heroes, a couple procs onto Matamba Man, but he's just going to spin away. The Fissure stops Zenigata from using that Fiend's Grip. There it is, vacuum wall combo finally. Another big one on a lot of their heroes. Fodder, it looks like he should be going down here. Kuroki glimpsed back into nothing, but Fodder is still alive with that cold embrace. Winter's Curse now as well. Gadrox is killing off his ally in Pwn. Finally, the Dragon Knight falls, and Matamba Man, he is here though. Gadrox throwing launches at him, but Kuroki with another stun coming out. Gadrox, he is locked in there. There's gonna be an Omni Slash just for him, and that, I think, will be your GG call.
If they weren't so far behind, that fight was looking pretty good for them. It was just too much of an insurmountable lead coming out from Liquid.
Yeah.
It's a really good draft as well. Like, it was really well rounded. The laning stage wasn't particularly exploitable. Had everything they needed to go through the mid game to the late game and be on par at every stage.
Yeah. So once again, folks, thank you all so much for watching. I'm Llama Down Under. I've been joined by PQ, MZ, and we've got at MacDota, who's helping us out with stats. We'll be seeing you really quickly in game 2, so please stay with us. And once again, thank you.